Hello, and welcome to my spoken word channel. My name is Stephen Lackey, but like any other label, that name is simply a collection of letters that make sounds to convey meaning, a meaning which may have varying connotations for those who voice and or hear it. The spoken word is much the same, its effect ranging from dissonance to resonance, apathy to revulsion, sometimes even to the same person over time. I'll be reading some of my own work today, offering analysis of its meter, rhyme scheme, and content. If you find it appealing, heartening, or evocative, or even not worth remembering, please consider the aforementioned variability of response. Words, much the same as attitudes, friendships, and even the air we breathe, may teach us, transform us, or pass uninspiringly in this moment, but the next is yet to be defined. Herein are my copyrighted works, all rights reserved, but please forget the name and remember the message. Also feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Today's piece is called Divined. There was no one on Main and no reason to find them. I'd ridden all day, my home not on my mind. I had popped a fresh Coke just to bask in the glory of hot cold fizz. Sweaty glass bottles tell stories. When it was half gone, I'd blow over the lip, and each passing drink's musical interval dip would make me the composer of saddening scales that sang out about waning refreshment availed. If I purposefully got my tongue stuck in the neck less than 90 times, I'd be surprised. Then I'd check for the certainty of the flesh seal by then tilting it upside down, seeing if any would spill. When I finished, I'd then stick my finger in, making it pop like my cheek, but much better. Then taking my palm, I would slap out some Roadrunner sounds on the rim. Man, those bottles were useful, I found. But it wasn't a bottle of soda alone. An experience best describes what it was. Thrown in the trash, an event such as this was negated. I placed it instead on the sidewalk, Coke facing the street, calling out to the gentry, "Come see this bold art installation," though really they'd be looking at an old trash can with critical eyes. Perhaps not at the juxtaposition that I'd so admired, and maybe will all by myself. It's just fine like that sometimes. Your personal wealth never spent on another. Just walk away smiling. It's yours, and forever will be. I've defined. This piece is anapestic tetrameter quatrains set in double couplets. It is a fairly accurate autobiographical portrayal of most of my summer days in the 70s and 80s, when I'd leave the house in the morning and not return until nightfall, or dinner time if it came early that night. I'd keep a bit of allowance in my sock for the better part of the day while I rode my bike all over town. If it got too hot outside, I could always depend on the side yard spigot of a local, but a special treat awaited at the gas station or Quickie Mart. The soda machine, ice cold and humming, and me with enough for 2 Cokes if I was lucky. Before the days of recycling, it wasn't uncommon to see bottles on the outside of a trash can. Sure, you could spike them into the bin and try and smash them on someone else's bottles, but they really were pieces of art worth admiring. Gleaming with sweat, shimmering ring of caramel color at the bottom, ergonomically curved, and the sounds. The clink of 2 or more, the whistle, the pop of the rim. In those moments of childhood, I'd have hoped that at least someone could appreciate as I did the feast of sensation. A cold drink on a hot day, its frigid sweat against my warmth, the musically inclined glass among the intermittent traffic and silence. The fizzy burn in your throat, that sweetness. 40 years ago. Those memories are so vivid now. And they're mine. Thank you for joining me today. I hope it has been some mix of enlightening, entertaining, and thought-provoking, and if not, well, perhaps another time. You could have spent it any number of ways, but I sincerely appreciate that you've chosen to spend this time listening to phrases I have turned. I'd like to hear your thoughts as well. Drop a comment below regarding what your own or someone else's creative writing and or spoken word has meant to you. Also, subscribe to my channel if you like. I'm not sure how often I'll be posting, but if you click the notification bell, you'll be among the first to know when I do. Please also consider this. It is quite a good thing to flex one's own imagination with possibilities and even improbabilities. It is perfectly fine to express feelings directly or abstractly, in rigid poetical style or untethered prose, no matter the nature of those feelings. And the more often discussed, the greater the power derived from such self-advocacy. After all, every act of creation was at one point a what if, and any aspiration voiced is, in a sense, a goal already achieved. One must merely take the steps. Start today. Embody the strength. Find a voice. Be heard.